give to you. Be you in charge, for I would follow you. Certain that your direction gives me peace. Certain that your direction gives me peace. And if I need a word to help me, He will give it to me. If I need a thought, that will He also give. If I need but stillness and a tranquil open mind, these are the gifts I will receive of Him. He is in charge by my request, and He will hear and answer me, because He speaks for God my Father and His Holy Son and His Holy Son. This holy instant would I give to you. Be you in charge, for I would follow you. Certain that your direction gives me peace. Certain that your direction gives me peace. Well, thank you all so much for joining me in studying Lesson 364 in A Course in Miracles. We're reading from the Foundation for Inner Peace this year, and we will again next year. And we'll start on January 1 with Lesson 1. Today it's Lesson 364 of the 365 lessons, which I thought I'd made a mistake because I got to looking yesterday and go, now hold it, I've got one more day. And I can make this work just about perfect, but I get 2 more days in the calendar year. What's going on? And I wasn't able. I finally realized that there's 366 days in 2024. It's a leap year, so we're doing fine. But we've got an extra day to before we start with Lesson 1. Okay, let's see. And one of the things I wanted to do today is I wanted to go ahead and sing the final lessons, the introduction. I do that when I'm practicing on my own. And I thought, you know what, I should share that with y'all just so that you can get a sense. And I'll do it I think I'm going to do it at the end. So we'll look at the lesson, final lesson introduction here in just a few minutes. But let's look again at the lesson and just read through it, and then go look at our song of prayer. And I've got a really good near-death experience I want to tell you all about. What was his name? Howard Storms, NDE. And I sat down here, and the sun wasn't shining at all. And then after I sat down, the sun came out. It's been cloudy. I thought it was going to rain. So, this holy instant would I give to you. Be you in charge, for I would follow you, certain that your direction gives me peace. And if I need a word to help me, He will give it to me. If I need a thought, that will He also give. And if I need but stillness and a tranquil open mind, these are the gifts I will receive of Him. He is in charge by my request, and He will hear and answer me, because He speaks for God my Father and His Holy Son. This holy instant would I give to you. Be you in charge, for I would follow you, certain that your direction gives me peace. And I mentioned the first day we did this on Lesson 361, that a lot of Course in Miracles students memorize this. And if you think about it, though, we're going about 5 days on this lesson. And if you do it every hour of the day like you're supposed to, it wouldn't be hard to get at least the first 3 lines memorized. Sometimes I'm busy working and I'll just say the top line, this holy instant would I give to you. But I try to go ahead and say all three lines. This holy instant would I give to you. Be you in charge, for I would follow you, certain that your direction gives me peace. Anyway, if you do that throughout the day, and a lot of times go ahead on those hourly pauses, and at least twice a day, say the rest of it. And if I need a word to help me, he will give it to me. And if I need a thought, that will he also give. And if I need but stillness and a tranquil open mind, these are the gifts I will receive of him. He is in charge by my request, and he will hear and answer me, because he speaks for God my Father and his Holy Son. Anyway, what I was going to say is that if you really did that at least twice a day, and then entered into the wordless quiet like he tells us, or throughout the day, every hour of the day, bring that, you probably would have it memorized, is what I'm trying to say. A lot of Course in Miracles students have this one memorized because it's so dear to our hearts. And it's like he leaves us with this one. He says, henceforth, we don't need any more lessons. He leaves us with a really good one that we can kind of lean on whenever we need one. Okay, I kind of wanted to say that. Let's go look, before we close with our song, let's look at what's going on around the world, and let's also go look at, we're still in the Song of Prayer, the last chapter, chapter 3, Healing, section 4, the holiness of healing. And I think we're gonna go ahead and lighten this one up and just do a portion of it today. And for some reason, and I'm not sure if it's a typographical, I don't know why they did this, but between paragraph 3 and 4, there's a little white space, as if there's like it changes. And I'm not exactly sure why that's done, but we're going to read those first 3 paragraphs right now. Then we're going to go back and sing the introduction after we've talked a little bit. So, the holiness of healing, these 3 paragraphs. That way we'll do a little bit more tomorrow to finish up. How holy are the healed, and in their sight their brothers share their healing and their love. Bringers of peace, the Holy Spirit's voice, through whom he speaks for God, whose voice he is. Such are God's healers. I had some friends that were staying out here at my place, and they said, Will, you always seem to be at peace, and that's a real makes us feel good. And I thought, oh, that's good. At least I'm rubbing off on somebody. So that is my goal, is to always be at peace, and it becomes your goal. It'll rub off on others, and you'll be a light, a voice for God, the voice for peace. Okay, so how holy are the healed? For in their sight their brothers share their healing and their love. Bringers of peace, the Holy Spirit's voice, through whom he speaks for God, whose voice he is. Such are God's healers. They but speak for him and never for themselves. They have no gifts but those they have from God. And these they share because they know that this is what he wills. They are not special, they are holy. They're not special, they're holy. They have chosen holiness and given up all separate dreams of special attributes through which they can bestow unequal gifts on those less fortunate. This is almost at a level of understanding that is transcendental to words themselves. So just set back and see if you can get the sense of this peace and this connection, this equality that he wants us to see in our brothers as we heal them and ourselves. Their healing has restored their wholeness so they can forgive and join the song of prayer in which the healed sing of their union and their thanks to God. Paragraph 2. As witness to forgiveness, aid to prayer, and the effect of mercy truly taught, healing is blessing. Okay, what do you say? As witness to forgiveness. Remember, we learned the other day that the witness to forgiveness is healing. That that a healing's taken place because you've practiced forgiveness. Forgiveness is the cause, and healing was the effect. As witness to forgiveness, aid to prayer, and the effect of mercy truly taught, healing is blessing. The effect of mercy or forgiveness, true forgiveness. Healing is blessing. And the world responds in quickened chorus through the voice of prayer. Forgiveness shines. The world responds in quickened chorus through the voice of prayer. Forgiveness shines its merciful reprieve upon each blade of grass and feathered wing and all the living things upon the earth. Fear has no haven here, for love has come in all its holy oneness. Time remains only to let the last embrace of prayer rest on the earth an instant as the world is shined away. This instant is the goal of all true healers. Where the world is shined away, this is the goal of all true healers, whom the Christ has taught to see his likeness and to teach like him. We want to see the Christ in each other. That's what shines the world away. And the last paragraph we'll read today, paragraph 3. Think what it means to help the Christ to heal. Can anything be holier than this? God thanks his healers, for he knows the cause of healing is himself, his love, his Son, restored as his completion and returned to share with him creation's holy joy. Do not ask partial healing, nor accept an idol for remembrance of him whose love has never changed and never will. Don't accept an idol. Listen to that again. Do not ask partial healing, nor accept an idol for remembrance of him whose love has never changed and never will. You are as dear to him as is the whole of his creation, for it lies in you as his eternal gift. What need have you for shifting dreams within a sorry world? Do not forget the gratitude of God. Do not forget the gratitude of God. I'm going to put in a little plug there. Our hourly remembrances, he told us that we should take a moment to find something to give thanks for. And then to make sure you're at peace, and then also to ask for guidance for the hour yet to come. So that's the one thing that he'd like us to kind of use time for, to step out of time. Do not forget the holy grace of prayer. Sweet hour of prayer. Do not forget the holy grace of prayer. Do not forget forgiveness of God's Son. Wow, I can see why those are some good, powerful ideas that are just almost beyond what we can really conceive of in this world. But he talks a lot about prayer and how, and remember, prayer is a wish for something to happen. A desire for something is a prayer. And let me just stop right now and tell you this story about Howard Storm's NDE. It's titled it's called 4 Magic Words Get Him Out of Hell, literally, NDE. And you can, and this was on the Shaman Oaks podcast. It's 31 minutes and 41 seconds. Howard Storm actually wrote a book. I think the name of the book, My Descent into Death. Anyway, howardstorm.com. Anyway, let me tell you what Howard, he was an atheist. And when he died, he got in some pretty hellish realms. Anyway, he was just being torn apart, and it went on and on and on. And at some point, he got this knowing, or this thought, or this voice. He said it felt like it came from right here close to him. Pray to God. 4 words. Pray to God. He said, well, I don't pray to God. I'm an atheist. Well, I think it got a little worse. And so he started trying to figure out a way to pray to God. He didn't know how to pray. And he didn't realize that asking for help is a prayer. So he was trying to say the Pledge of Allegiance, and then he thought, well, that's not really a prayer. Finally, he said, the Lord is my shepherd, because he remembered some of his Bible stories from being a kid. And then he just remembered his childhood a little bit and how he did kind of love prayer. And he said, Jesus, help me. There's another 4 words. And in the process of doing that, he was delivered. And he just cried and cried and cried when Jesus came and pulled him out of that hell realm. And he felt so much love, and then he ended up coming back because he had work to do, he was told. Okay, so anyway, I really liked his story, and it really demonstrates how that even on the other side you can go into some pretty dark places. Because remember, everything is a product of thought. And even on the other side, it's just that somehow the veil's a little bit less holding us to the dark side, and we can move into the light side easier and quicker. And he kind of listened to a story, and notice when he tells a story about it was dark outside. He thought it was out in the hallway of the hospital, and he went out there, and it was a little darker out there. It wasn't so bright as this place where he was at. Anyway, it's a fun story. Anyway, Howard Storms. Okay, let's see what all's going around the world today. It's still the Yule season. So happy Yule. I think all the way until the first of the year. That's what best I can understand. It's the Yule season anyway. Hanukkah, happy Hanukkah, and happy Kwanzaa. Chocolate Day, the Theobroma cacao. Pepper Pot Day, just all the, kind of an honoring of making soup with spices, pepper particularly. Still Need to Do Day, coming into the end of the year. Was there things you wanted to get done this year? If you're trying to spend some money for your taxes, it's get another couple days. And TikTok Day, just basically time's ticking on. Year's almost over. Okay, and then our word, or before we go, our word for peace is Uforma. It's the Isox people of Nigeria, and the word is Uforma. And our seed savers exchange red cord Chatney carrot. This popular variety has sweet orange flesh, wide shoulders, and a red-orange core that gives the variety its name. Easy to grow. Prepare and enrich the soil with nutrients, and a prolific harvest will result. The 6-inch roots are great for soups, canning, and fresh eating. Introduced by C.C. Morris and Company in 1929, and it's 70 day. You could make you some pepper pot soup with some red cord Chatney carrots. Okay, now let's go ahead and we have time to sing. You could actually do this kind of as a meditation if you'd like. I'm going to have to change my page in the middle of the song, and so I'm going to try to do something with a little bit of guitar thumping, keeping the beat while I do that. Okay, let's see. Can I do this? All right, so we're going to do this holy instant would I give to you. Be you in charge, for I would follow you. Certain that your direction gives me peace. Certain that your direction gives me peace. And if I need a thought, that will he also give. And if I need but stillness and tranquil, and if I need a thought, that will he also give. And if I need but stillness and a tranquil open mind, these are the gifts I will receive of him. He is in charge by my request, and he will hear and answer me, because he speaks for God my Father and his holy Our final lessons will be left as free of words as possible. We use them but at the beginning of our practicing, and only to remind us that we seek to go beyond them. Let us turn to Him who leads the way and makes our footsteps sure. To Him we leave these lessons, as to Him we give our lives henceforth. For we seem for we would not return again to the belief in sin that made the world seem ugly and unsafe, attacking and destroying, dangerous in all its ways, and treacherous beyond the hope of trust and the escape from pain. His is the only way to find the peace of God has given us. His is the only way to find the peace that God has given us. It is His way that everyone must travel in the end, because it is this ending God Himself appointed. In the dream of time it seems to be far off, and yet in truth it is already here, already serving as gracious guidance in the way to go. Let us together follow in the way that truth points out to us. Let us together follow in the way that truth points out to us. And let us be the leaders of our many brothers who are seeking for the way but find it not. And to this purpose let us dedicate our minds, directing all our thoughts to the serve the function of salvation. Unto us the aim is given to forgive the world. It is the goal that God has given us. If His ending is to the dream we seek and not our own, for all that we forgive, we will not fail to recognize His part. We will not fail to recognize as part of God Himself, and thus His memory is given back completely and complete. It is our function to remember Him on earth, as it is given us to be His own completion in reality. So let us not forget our goal is shared, for it is that remembrance which contains the memory of God and points the way to Him and to the heaven of His peace. And shall we not forgive our brothers who can offer this to us? He is the way, the truth, and life that shows the way to us. In Him resides salvation, offered us through our forgiveness given unto Him. We will not end this year without the gift our Father promised to His Holy Son. We are forgiven now, and we are saved from all the wrath. From all the wrath we thought belonged to God, and found it was a dream. We are restored to sanity, in which we understand that anger is insane, attack is mad, and vigilance merely foolish fantasy. We have been saved from wrath because we learned we learned that we were mistaken. We were mistaken, nothing more than that. And Is a father angry at his son because he failed to understand? To understand the truth. We come in honesty to God and say we did not understand, and ask Him to help us learn His lessons through the voice of His own teacher, through the voice of His own teacher. Would He hurt His son, or would He rush to answer him? Or would He rush to answer him and say, this is my son and all I have is his. This is my son and all I have is his. This is my holy son and all I have is his. This is my son and all I have is his. Be certain He will answer thus, for these are His own words. For these are His own words to you. And more than that can no one ever have. For in these words is all there is, and all that there will be, throughout all time and in eternity. This holy instant would I give to you. Be you in charge, for I would follow you. Certain that your direction gives me peace. Certain that your direction gives me peace. And if I need a word to help me, He will give it to me. And if I need a thought, that will He also give. And if I need but stillness and a tranquil open mind, these are the gifts I will receive of Him. He is in charge by my request, and He will hear and answer me, because He speaks for God my Father and His Holy Son and His Holy Son. This holy instant would I give to you. Be you in charge, for I would follow you. Certain that your direction gives me peace. Certain that your direction gives me peace. And from the Isox people of Nigeria, Uforma. Peace be with you, Uforma. Peace, Uforma. This holy instant would I give to you, be you in charge, for I would follow you, certain that your direction gives me peace. Uforma.